Glen Orpheous, one of my favourite Folkestone people. Thank you for coming and have a chat with me. Bumped into you in town the other day and I was like, you need to come and have a chat because you do so many musical things and you've done it for a very long time and the world needs to hear about you. So, first of all, I think we should sort of go backwards. I want to talk about your electronic open mic nights because they're quite legendary and they are active now and the next one is coming up very soon. So tell us all about them.
Okay, so I host a electronic music open mic night. They're primarily for electronic musicians.
Yep.
We've been doing them now for 6 years in Folkestone.
Wow.
So yeah,
weren't you the first in the southeast?
We are the first electronic music open mic night in Kent.
Yay!
Since we've started, there are 2 others, I believe. There's one in Whitstable, and I believe there's another one in Canterbury.
Oh, that's wicked.
That is happening at the
yours?
Penny Theatre, which has obviously been inspired by us doing ours. You know, so yeah, it's a great thing. Basically, it gets people out of their bedrooms.
Yep.
You know, showing their music or playing their music to their friends is probably what most people do.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity for people to come out, play their stuff in front of an audience that's very much appreciative of the electronic music scene.
Yeah.
You know, and it's basically a great platform.
So
for
what
people.
was the inspiration? Why did you start doing this?
It's something I've always wanted to do for years, basically. We've all been to an open mic night, you know, whether it's to perform or just to go and watch.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love to sit down and I love to listen to somebody playing a guitar on a stool. But I always wanted to go to one of these. But I felt that me turning up with all my electronic equipment and suddenly doing my thing when most of the night has been acoustic guitar, it doesn't really fit, and it would probably break the mood of the whole night.
Or maybe for the right reasons, who knows, but it's quite different, isn't it?
So it's a very different thing. So that's why we set up an electronic music open mic night, basically. But it's been something that's been on my radar for, I would probably say, 15 years.
Well, you saying that, we'll come back to and do you say EMOM? Do you say EMOM?
EMOM.
Do you say EMOM?
Yeah,
EMOM,
right.
Okay,
which is electronic music open night.
Yeah. I just felt like I was saying it wrong for some reason.
No.
Well, on that, because we're going to come back to that, because I want everybody to know how to get involved, because there's one coming up very soon, first Wednesdays of the month, but we'll come back to that in a minute, because you said you've wanted to do it for 15 years. You've had a long life and career in music, doing all sorts of different things. So span back, where did it all start?
Oh, well, when do you want me to go back?
How far as you want to go.
How far? Oh, right, okay, age 6 then.
Yep.
My brother came back from a deep sea trip into Singapore, and he brought an Hitachi stereo, and he brought home a tape.
Yeah.
And it was Jean-Michel Jarre.
Oh.
And it was Jean-Michel Jarre's Oxygen.
Yeah.
All I'd heard up until that point
is that the that one, is it? Yeah.
I mean, all I'd heard before then, don't get me wrong, I love all kinds of genres of music.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden there was these new sounds that I'd never heard before.
Yeah.
And it just pricked my interest, and that was it. That tape was on repeat and repeat.
Is it worn out?
Yeah, absolutely, totally worn out. I've bought so many different versions of that album since, you know, and I'm still wearing them out today.
Good, I love it.
Yeah, no, so that sparked my interest. I badgered my mum for a keyboard. I think I got a Bontempi keyboard. You know, things progressed from there, basically. I then ventured out in 95, I believe, and I started my own. We were a duo act, but we were doing techno.
Right. So who would do what out of the two?
So we were both using. There was no decks or anything. It was all drum machines, samplers, keyboards, hooked up to sequencers. So we do live stuff. And I started off doing. We did it. We started off. We became Phonic Mutator. Was a horrendous name now that I think back on it.
I quite like it.
But a promoter came round to my house, listened to us to play for about half an hour, just jamming.
Right.
And he went, "I want you for our club."
Wow, how cool's that?
And then it was like, what's your name? And it was like,
Phonic mutator. Was it phonic mutator?
Phonic Mutator. And it was like, well, we don't have a name. Well, I need something to put on the flyers. So you've
Think of one now.
You've got a few days to come up with something.
Right.
You know, so you know how hard it is to come up with a name.
Yeah.
It is. It's a long old process. And unfortunately, we didn't have that. We didn't have the time to do
that. I quite like Phonic Mutator.
Yeah,
probably
and
sit and laugh about
then we then disbanded because I was more into the melodic kind of stuff, and the guy I was working with at the time, he was more into the harder stuff,
right.
just more rhythm based and that. So we kind of parted ways.
Yeah.
I then got together with another 3 other gentlemen, and we formed another outfit called Oral Resonance.
Right.
Oral being ear, oral. And then things just progressed from there, basically. We got our first gig, Tunbridge Wells at the Forum.
Yeah, love that place. Old toilets.
And that was an incredible experience. It was the first time we'd gone out and played actually in a bigger club. And I'll always remember it because there was a guy stood in the middle of the crowd, and he was on crutches, and he had both crutches up in the air at one point, and I was just like, oh my goodness.
Don't fall over.
And I don't know, that something clicked on that night, and it was like, my goodness, we're actually doing something people are like, enjoying.
Yeah.
You know, and that just really inspired me to go further. Unfortunately, the band disbanded for one reason or another.
Yeah.
But I left the band with one other member.
Right.
And then we became Orpheous 2, basically.
Yes. Okay.
And then we were, from that point on, we had several residencies up and down the country, in clubs for certain promotions and whatnot. 7 years gigging every Friday and Saturday, sometimes 2 gigs a night. Yeah. You know, that kind of thing.
It's intense, isn't it?
It is intense, yeah. But absolutely, what a ride. Yeah. What a ride. And I'm so honoured to have played at some of Britain's most prestigious venues. Yeah. I mean, I've played on the stage of Brixton Academy.
Wow.
You know,
that's cool.
Big people play on that stage.
Yeah, they do.
And I'm in no way, you know, I'm quite humble in the fact that I happen to be doing the right thing at the right time to have got that opportunity. Yeah. I'm not in any way like some super musician.
Well, I think you are.
You know, but yeah, no, it was just the right time and the right place. Yeah. And then I've just, you know, ever since then. I mean, so we were 7 years. We were doing hard trance, basically. Yep. Travelling up and down the country. We were signed to Recover Records up in London, and after 7 years, I kind of got bored. Right. Of doing the same. It's a long stint. Yeah. Yeah. And it's doing the same type of music all the time, and then after a bit, I just got a little bit. I need to branch out and do some other things. Yeah. So that all disappeared, and I started up a trip hop band. We were doing down tempo trip hop. That's quite the opposite of trance. Very opposite. So, yeah, you know, and things just sort of progressively went. We did a few festivals. We supported Dread Zone, and a few other choice names and whatever. You know, not big names, but relatively well-known names. You know. And it's done some great stuff. Yeah, it was just a great time. Yeah. You know? And I'm just so privileged to have that opportunity. Yeah, it's really nice to be a part of it. So you humble. Know. And you've had you've done such a lot of different things over quite a long period of time. So you've learned a lot. What's one of the biggest takeaways you've learned over all the years of doing all of this? Do you think, or other advice for people starting out? Never give up. Yeah. Never give up. If you want something badly, keep going. Then you go for it. Yeah. And if you see a door that says staff only, walk through it. Don't be. Well, I did.
Is that what you're going to say? Or is that me being a
To be honest with you, that's how I got my CD in the hands of certain promoters at clubs. I used to go to nightclubs. I'd see the door that said staff only. I'd knock on it. I'd open it. I'd have my CD. I'm really sorry. I don't mean to disturb you. I know you're all, doing your own thing. Is there somebody I can just hand this CD to?
Yeah.
And I used to hand my CD with a covering letter, which was a biography of what we were doing and where we come from and blah, blah, blah. All quite short. I'd hand it to them, scuttle off. Yeah. And then I'd give them a month. Yeah. And then I'd give them a complimentary call. Yeah. Not hassling them too much, but did you get a chance to listen to that? Yeah. Yeah. And
makes all the difference.
Maybe I was a little bit cheeky.
You have to be. You've got to hustle, especially these days. It's
but
just
if you're
getting harder.
Sitting around at home waiting for somebody to call me, it's never going to happen.
Not going to happen.
So you've got to get out there and
Absolutely.
You've got to be proactive about it. I mean, I was sending out 40 CDs a week.
Wow. That's a lot of work as well, because you've got to go to the, back in those days, not that I'm saying you're old or anything. Yeah, no. You had to go to the post, you've got to print the CD.
Even burning a CD back in those days was it used to take half a day almost.
You're not that old,
yeah, they were wind-up ones.
Yeah. Got sent off a carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work. A lot of people, I think as well these days, you probably find this as well when you're speaking to younger people, is I think they all think, and some people can get seen overnight on social media, but I think a lot of people think one video, put it on social media and that's it. It really isn't, and it doesn't happen like that.
No, to be honest, social media really wasn't the thing when I started. No. Either. And, we weren't reliant on things like that, so there was none of that social media. I mean, to be honest with you now, I find it all a bit strange that people seem to focus themselves on social media rather than doing it the way we did, but maybe it works. That's how it works now.
Yeah, it's finding your little route, isn't it, and the way that works for you, and whichever way you can get. It's basically getting people to listen to you, isn't it? However you do that, whatever works for you, do that. But you've got to be persistent. Yeah, it's very easy to want to give up. I think we've all been there. Anybody creative?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
We all have days, don't we, where you're just like, shall I just give all this up? And then you're like, what was I thinking? But it's a lonely world out there when you're creating and stuff, and it's really important to have people, I think, that are like-minded, like other producer friends for you, and Tim has his producer friends. I have other singers and songwriters. I've got a good friend of mine, Emma and Flo, and certain people that I know I can trust to go to them and just be like, I'm not quite sure about verse 2. I don't think it's quite right. What do you think? And letting them have a look at it and being free to and being open to a bit of feedback.
It is nice working with other people as well, because it's if you're stuck in a studio on your own, and it is. It's lovely doing that. Yeah. But having that feedback off other people is really how I think it's how I learned and how I progressed even more. Yeah. By having that feedback from other people. And,
definitely. You learn so much from working with others. That's what I always say to people: just work with everybody that you can. You'll learn something different from everybody. Yeah, and just absolutely. Even just recently, I've just been working with another songwriter, and the way he does things is totally different to how I do them. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I like your technique of doing that. Mm-hmm. So you're constantly learning, aren't you, and just being open to everything. There's a couple of other things I wanted to talk to you about. One, because I just think this is super cool and I wish we could do it again. You did a party down here in Folkestone, 7 or 8 years ago was it now, that you told me about, down there with the zigzag path?
I think it might be longer than
was
that,
it?
actually.
I just remember you telling me this story and I need to hear it again.
It was at the Amphitheatre.
Yeah.
Simon Moore was one of the organisers.
And he's a great keys player, Simon Moore.
And Simon approached me and he said to me, would I like to come and play? Yeah. It was a day of bands, basically. Yeah. So I wasn't the only act. I think there was about 10 acts on during the whole day. We were expecting possibly 500 people. I think the council reported that there was over 2,500 people there. Unfortunately, Simon and everybody that was organising the event relied on volunteer marshals.
As you do with a lot of stuff that's freebies.
As you do. Unfortunately, I believe only a quarter of the marshals turned up. Yeah. The law stated, I believed at the time, that there must be one marshal per 100 people. Right. I think there was 6 marshals and 2,500 people. Gosh. There was people all the way up the zigzag path behind the amphitheatre. Yeah. And I know that when I played, I threw out about 2,000 glow sticks,
Right.
all for free.
Oh, cool.
I got my son and my daughter to just throw them out into the crowd, crack them open, make them glow, throw them to people. But I remember looking up at one point and the whole area was just a glow.
Yeah.
But it kind of rung home because I looked up and I saw the zigzag path and people were hanging over the edge of the zigzag path, all doing this.
Oh, yeah. And then you're like, oh.
That's what the council saw as well.
Yeah.
And obviously,
and they have a duty, don't they, for people's safety?
They
have
we
to.
have a
You have a duty. Everybody
has a duty
to
keep people safe.
Yeah.
And make
Simple,
sure that we are.
Stuff.
And unfortunately, the council kind of put a stop to that.
Yeah.
It's a real shame. It was an unfortunate thing, but I think it needed to be done.
Yeah.
It needed to be done before somebody does have an accident.
Yeah. That would just be the worst. And it's not like a flat piece of ground, is it? The zigzag path is pretty scary at the best of times.
And I mean, even if someone had fallen, maybe they might not have hit the concrete. They would have probably landed on other people that were below.
Yeah, it would probably wouldn't have gone well.
It would have been horrendous.
So they had to do their job. It's a shame because it just shows. I love that. I remember you telling me that story, and I was just like, I wish I was here then. Obviously, I'm from Kent, but I wasn't in Folkestone then on that particular day. I live here now. Our studio's here, but we were living in Ashford at the time. And I would just remember when you told me this story, I was thinking, wish I'd been there.
It was an amazing
I
scene.
know, it sounds so cool. And this is the thing, people, Simon, a great guy, but put in it all. We're all like-minded people trying to do something nice.
Yeah.
And Simon's done that from all the greatest intentions, and everybody's intentions were great. And you don't want to go overboard in case hardly anyone turns up, but then you get all these people, which is wonderful because you're like, everybody wants this, but then you're like, but we're not prepared for it. It was one of those, wasn't it? So maybe we could do something like that again. But
it would be lovely to do something like that again, and if we could do it again, I'd do it at the drop of a hat, basically.
Okay. You heard it here first.
So,
maybe it's what we need to do for. That's
but
something
it would
we
need to be done correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. It has to be done correctly, and public safety is of the utmost importance because it can take one little thing and then it ruins everything for everybody. So we don't want that.
Absolutely.
But what we do want is people enjoying music and getting that benefit for themselves because it just does so much. Listening to live music and going along and dancing or singing or just listening does so much for your mental health, your physical health, all the stuff that we know about. So coming back to the EMOM, now I know I'm saying it right, Kent's very first electronic open mic night is back up and running because it used to be at Chambers,
That's
which
right.
Unfortunately our favourite grassroots venue has had to shut the doors after 26 years, but Chris is now working with Mark at Speedway.
He is
Speedway's a wonderful place.
Yep.
So you've set back up there. How many have you done now since they've opened? Is it just one?
I think we've done 4.
We've done
since
4.
We've opened.
You're one of the first things that Mark put back in there.
We
isn't
were
it?
indeed.
Yeah. It's wonderful. So tell everybody, how can they get involved? What to expect? What to bring? Just all of the rules and
Okay,
regulations.
so we do an open mic night on the first Wednesday of every month.
Yep.
At 20th
Speedway.
Century Speedway, which is opposite Lidl in Folkestone. So people can come along. They don't have to perform. They can come along. They can watch. They can just come along and inquire.
Yeah.
We don't have any expectations, but if you want to come along and perform, then essentially you come along to 20th Century Speedway on the night.
Yeah. What time?
We start at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we aim to finish at 10:30.
Okay.
Sometimes we slightly overstretch to try and get everybody on.
Yeah.
But, obviously the bar has to shut at a certain time.
Yeah.
They can't sell alcohol beyond a certain time. So, but no, so everything runs quite smoothly. We give people a maximum of 15 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. You used to have a buzzer, didn't you? Do you still do that?
No, we don't have a buzzer.
We do the buzzer.
What we used to have was a pad with and we expected people to, when you start, you press go on the pad, and it's countdowns from 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But we found a lot of people weren't pressing it.
I forgot to.
A lot of people, for a lot of people, this is the first time they've ever come out and stood on the stage and played in front of. Their anxiety levels are up here.
Yeah.
They might not show it, but they are.
Yeah. Yeah, so pressing the buzzer is the last of their worries.
They're so focused on what they need to do, you know. So we opted to remove that because it was.
Yeah, just a step too far.
It was a step too far, and if people's anxiety levels are already high and they're watching a countdown,
that's off-putting.
It's even worse. It's even worse.
Much.
So it was a good idea to start with, or we thought it was a good idea. Then on reflection, it was like, no, we need to remove this because we want to make people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to scare people even more, basically.
Yeah.
So, you know, we accept, you know, whatever genre of music that electronic music.
So the rules are just has to be electronic.
It just has to be electronic music.
Yeah.
With, you know, we have had a few. We had a gentleman come down with an acoustic guitar.
Didn't read the.
No, and because he did try to say, well, it is electronic because it's battery operated and I am. It's like, okay. I allowed him to play, but I did say to him that he would be the last person on.
Yeah.
And if there was too many people that had brought other electronic equipment,
they have to take precedence.
They would be taking precedence, basically, and we don't really want it to turn into that.
Yeah.
I don't really want to turn people away either, but...
Yeah, but it's not what you're about. And there's loads of other open mic nights and other venues that they can go to for exactly that. Electronic music is electronic music, so... Don't bring a guitar.
Well, you can bring a guitar. See, that's the thing. We say that if you have somebody that's going to accompany you with a guitar,
as part of
or
the
you've got an accompanied singer, saxophonist, whatever musician that you've got that accompanies you doing your electronic thing, it's fine.
That's fine. It's got to be part of the electronic music set or delivery. That makes sense.
But not just turn up with an acoustic guitar.
No. That's just an open mic night.
That's just an open mic night. And as you said, there are plenty of
there are lots of those to get involved in.
Opportunities,
so what is your most memorable, maybe it's the guitar guy, is there any, or your favourite, or the worst, or the most memorable, you might not mention some of them, but something that really sticks out, or something that you think works really well, that you would encourage more people to do, that you don't see enough of, or anything like that?
No, not really.
You've got across the board, haven't you? It's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, like, what I say to people when they approach me, we do have a Facebook group. We've got Control Voltage, which I believe it's Control Voltage, Kent's first electronic music open mic night.
Yeah.
So people can find that group on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's a simple question to answer to get in the group. Yeah. If you're a musician, you'll know the answers. It's quite an easy. It's quite an easy question. But what I always say to people is there are no expectations of how much you perform.
Yeah.
We realise that there's people from all sorts of, you know, of grades of experience and abilities.
Yeah.
You know, if you write something on a laptop and that's all you do, and you're going to come along and press play. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. There's no expectations for you to stand there behind a keyboard, behind an electronic pads, doing your thing. You know, if you just want to come along and press play.
Yeah, play your electronic music creation.
That is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
If you want to come along and you're like an octopus and your hands are everywhere and you're doing stuff all over, that's fine as well.
That's also fine, yeah.
You know, so we don't want to be we don't want to put limitations on it.
Yeah, it's a lovely thing, yeah.
We want to give everybody a chance, basically. You know?
And I've been, and it's so lovely to see, and I've seen people literally shaking when they're going up there, because like you say, some of these people I've noticed that there was a few guys there, we've been to a few of them, but there was one particular night we came, there's a few guys there that you could see that they probably had this equipment that they've had for quite a while. They've spent hours in their bedrooms or their spare room that they've made into a studio playing with this stuff. They've had nowhere to really go and play it. Their wife's probably going, are you going to use that piece of equipment that you paid 300 quid for or whatever? And it's really nice for them, and the rest, it's really nice for them to get out and just bring their equipment out and set it up somewhere different and just share their creations with somebody.
And to be honest with you, the biggest reward for me so far has been people coming in, they've done their stuff, it's the first time they've got out of their bedroom from doing anything, and now I see them doing gigs in Ashford, Folkestone, Dover, wherever.
That's so beautiful.
And their names on flyers. Or we've got other people, we've got another gentleman, Adam. He started his own record label.
Cool.
They do their own nights as well. So,
love that.
You know, and that is such a fantastic reward.
That really is. Yeah.
That really is.
And the fact that you're so happy about it shows that you do this because you care. You really care about all of this stuff.
Absolutely. You know, and we just want to be a platform where people can come along and find their feet.
And that's exactly what you are, and I think it's a wonderful thing. Everybody should get along. So Controlled Voltage, you can find the groups on Facebook. We'll put all the links, we'll make sure your profile on Folkestone Music is up to date. We'll put it all in the links that will be underneath this video on YouTube, so people can find you and Orpheous Music, because we've actually done a collaboration together, haven't we?
We did indeed,
when was that? That was like 3 years ago or something.
4 years ago.
Gosh, time goes too quickly. That was a lovely club. We need to do another one. We should do another one. Anyway, I digress. It's a really lovely thing. So first Wednesday of every month at 20th Century Speedway, you can just rock up. Do people sometimes book in advance and say, "Oh, I'm coming to like Glen and stuff"?
If you're going to come from a distance,
yes,
you can contact me. And if you are travelling from a distance, I will reserve you a space. But if you are coming from Folkestone, no, it's turn up on the night.
Yep.
Get there nice and early at 7 o'clock. Get your name down. You can play for as little as you want.
But no more than 15.
But no more than 15 minutes.
Right.
So if you want to come up and play 1 minute of music, that's absolutely fine.
Oh,
don't worry about that.
Oh,
you know, you don't have to. This is the thing. We don't want to.
You don't have any limitations.
Too many limitations. You know, because somebody may have spent 6 months to write a 3-minute track.
Absolutely, that.
And if you want to come along and play that, brilliant. We'd love to see you. You know.
Oh, Glen. Well, we love you here. Tim and I both love you. You do wonderful things. You're a great person that really cares about music. That's what it's about. Thank you for being you, for doing all the things that you do. Thank you for being in Folkestone, because that means we get to see you and we get to spend time with you. And just keep doing what you're doing, and also keep us in touch with anything else that's coming up. But the next one's coming up soon, because a couple of weeks?
First Wednesday
of November.
Yes,
so,
and off the top of my head, I can't remember
First
the date.
Wednesday of December. I don't know when this video is going to come out. We're trying to get the Future Sound of Folkestone winners videos out quickly. So we'll get this out as soon as possible. But we know that every month, on the first Wednesday of every month, Glen's Controlled Voltage.
The only month that we don't do it is January.
Don't do January. Good
we
to know.
We don't do January. That's mainly because of the reason being Christmas, New Year. Most people have spent enough money and they've had enough of going out. So we take 1 month off in January, basically.
1 month off? How very dare you, I'm joking. At least you know you get a month off as well, which is very nice. But okay, so every Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month, apart from January, get along. And it's just really nice just going and observing and hearing this stuff. So, and if you're a bit nervous, go along and just have a listen to start with. And just find your feet and get to know the venue and get to know Glen. As you can tell, he's a really lovely guy. So go and have a chat with you if they're a bit nervous, or can drop you a message on socials or whatever. And go and share your creations. But thanks, guys. Is there anything else you wanted to tell anyone, ask anybody, or share with the world?
No, I'm not really. I don't think so. No, I think we've sort of covered most of it.
We've covered it. Are you going to get more t-shirts soon?
That is on.
Merch, to have nice merch.
It is nice
t-shirt
to have
that Tim's
some merch. What we're looking at doing something maybe a little bit special for people that come along quite often.
That's a good idea. Oh, right. You need to check back in for updates.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we do have some regular faces.
You do. Some real avid supporters. So that's a nice idea.
And to be honest with you, I've even been surprised. We've had people from London, Brighton. We have a guy who comes down regularly from Medway Towns. It's quite a distance to travel.
Yes, I met him. He was there when I've been
for
there.
15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, exactly.
But they love it.
It's because you're doing wonderful things. It is just great. On that note, we're going to leave it all on being great. Thanks for being great. You're great.
Thank you.
I'm occasionally great.
You are.
Glen Orpheous, Controlled Voltage, everybody.
Thank you.